In every workplace, there are individuals who can be difficult to work with. These people may have the respect of others and even authority, but they find a way of behaving inconsiderate, vague, irrational, sometimes even in malicious ways. Hi, I'm Dave Edwards. Dealing with such colleagues can be challenging and frustrating, as most of us have yet to be taught how to navigate these tricky interpersonal dynamics. But I've got some ideas on how you can deal with some difficult folks at work. The stress from dealing with people like this affects our productivity and makes going to work miserable. For example, do you work with a pessimist? Let's start there. Imagine a scenario where your colleague, let's call her Joanne, spends a whole lot of time complaining about the company and even her life. Her constant negativity becomes a psychological drain on you, making staying positive and focused at hard work even more difficult. Pessimists like Joanne rarely find anything positive to say and seem to thrive on pointing out potential failures and flaws in any project or initiative. Pessimists may be driven by a variety of factors, including anxiety, a desire for control, or past experiences of unfair treatment. While some of their negativity might stem from valid concerns, it often becomes counterproductive when it takes over their interactions and again, impacting the morale of others. If you work with someone like this, here are some things you can do. Acknowledge and reframe. Start by acknowledging their complaints without dismissing them. For instance, if they are complaining about a colleague being lazy, you could say something like, well, everyone's busy right now. Perhaps they're handling things we aren't aware of. Follow this up by asking for constructive input, such as, what steps can we take to improve this? That will help shift the focus from the problem to solutions and maybe move that person to a more proactive mindset. Meet with a negative person individually to discuss specific instances where their attitudes have affected the team. Let them know that what they say and how they behave is affecting others. Seek to understand what they're thinking about and then explore ways to address their concerns in a constructive manner. Another technique is what's called time-limited negativity. Let's say you're in a meeting and this person starts complaining, and then the meeting becomes a complaint session. If you're running the meeting, just set a time for a brief period of time where negativity is allowed. Then, when the timer is up, then shift the focus back to constructive dialogue. That will allow people to, get it off their chest, as people say. They can get all their negative feelings out on the table. And, maybe somebody will come up with solutions for that. But even if there are no visible solutions that the group can take, once that negativity time is done, then you move on to something more positive. Engage and re-engage. Make sure that the person is engaged and it is not burned out. Sometimes that can cause that kind of negativity. If you're the boss, maybe kind of change their roles or responsibilities a little bit, and that will boost their enthusiasm and reduce some of their negative tendencies. If they're open to it, help them develop positive thinking skills, which can gradually shift their outlook. You can't ignore this kind of behavior. If you do, it's only going to make the situation worse. And the pessimist is only one kind of difficult person that you can find on the job. You probably know that. There are different ways of dealing with each kind of personality type. Besides the pessimist, you have the passive-aggressive person, the know-it-all, and many more. Maybe like you feel like you've worked with all of them at one time or another. Well, I've been researching how best to deal with each type of personality. I've actually read psychological reports, and heck, I've personally had to deal with many of them during my more than 30 years as a manager. I've put everything that I've learned, all of the helpful advice, and a lot of advice that I give to my coaching clients into an online and on-demand course called Managing Difficult People. It's designed to give you an edge when dealing with difficult employees who don't get along with others or negatively impact the workplace. Find out more about managing difficult people at daveedwardsmedia.com. Click on courses.